Something is happening today on BBIG. It's up over 10%. What is going on? Talking about this move on BBIG today, live from Wieland Capital here on the beautiful island of Oahu. Let's get into the charts. What's going on, guys? Patrick here, and well, today, BBIG, it's up over 10%. What is going on? Taking a look at the chart and talking more about the move on BBIG right now, right here. So let's just get into it. Let's get into it. All right, so first off, one thing I want to talk about is the overall market. I know we normally don't talk about the overall market when we talk about these squeeze plays, but I'm a little worried about the overall market at this level, at this 430 level. The SPY right now getting crushed. It's down there to the 430 level, and I don't love it because I don't want to have any reason for this squeeze play to have pressure other than shorts. You know, I don't want the overall market to be crashing while BBIG is trying to go up, because it can be a little detrimental to the overall sentiment in the market and people. But luckily, I think that most gamblers that are buying BBIG or investors, are not too worried about the overall market or the world ending or anything like that. So we don't have to worry about that. So let's look at BBIG. Hey, if this is the first time you've watched my videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to learn more about the broker that I use, Interactive Brokers, for the best fees, the best execution, the best app, and all that fun stuff, there's a link down below. Let's get back into the action. All right, so you can see the move here on BBIG this morning from the 580 area up to a high so far at 670. We got this big old move up here to the 650 area right now. We're above the EMAs. We just punched through basically every EMA, and we need a little bit of cool off, I think, now. The volume getting very light through this move, this consolidation level as well. So I'm thinking we're going to consolidate here at the 640, 650 area for a little bit before making that next leg higher, if we do make that next leg higher, obviously. Now, if we look at the bigger picture here on the daily chart, we're looking at resistance. Where is the resistance we need to worry about? So you can see right here on the daily chart, pushing up into that cloud, pushing up into that EMA cloud there. We've been in a pretty steady downward trend for quite some time here on BBIG. I mean, it's just been down, down, down for quite some time. Been in this channel, I would guess, you could say that we've been in this, basically in this channel at this point. And now the question is, do we break out? And really what we need to do is push above $7. BBIG needs to push above 7 to show some strength going into the end of day. And then Friday, we would need to push, I think $8, $10. So if we could push over 7 today, I would then believe that by Friday, that if the momentum continues, and this is just the beginning of the move, like we're hoping it is, again, hoping, praying, but we're looking for this to be the beginning of the move. Having this big old move today, especially when the overall market is red, is something to think about. Okay, like what is really going on here? Now, BBIG, we know one thing for sure. There's a lot of shorts, especially the last few weeks, or the last week, I guess. We've had a lot, I would say there's a lot of shorts piling into this because of really the overall trend. I mean, the trend has been just pointing down. So as a short, you could easily short up here, $9, $7.50 at the $8 area, shorting in those areas, and then look at that move lower. But I think a lot of shorts were going to be surprised today that 550 area held so well. And that could also lead to kind of a fake out here as well. This could be, some shorts covering today as well. If you look at the chart, this big spike in volume. We got stuck at the 570 area. But I think a lot of that, today could have been added shorts covering into that move lower. Basically seeing that we had a bounce here off of the 580 area before. We bounced off of 580. You can see back there on, I think, the 24th of September. We bounced off of this area, that 580 area, pretty strong there end of day, and actually ended up gapping up there to the 760 area, and then just selling off again back down to the 580s. But today, definitely an interesting move so far. You can see the volume picking up here. You can see this action yesterday, the volume, as this thing just sold off all day yesterday. The volume was really about half of this overall candle here. If we can get the volume to come back in here, if we can push up, like I said, that $7 area is going to be very key resistance here on BBIG. The high so far today is 668, so 670 being our kind of a high today. The question is, can BBIG get going again? Can we get some short squeezing? at the end of the day, it really comes down to just having that momentum, having the volume. If there's volume on the play, if there's volume in the action, well, that could obviously take us higher. We need that volume to bust through any resistance or any selling pressure or shorts, and vice versa. So I would like to obviously see this push, like I said, up there above $7. We're going to see what happens. Looking at the 5-minute chart right now, you can see all the EMAs crossing, everything basically pointing to this going higher. But now the question is, will there be enough bulls to step in and want to push this higher, especially now that 670 area got denied basically 3 times here. So my goal, like I said, is I want to see BBIG close above, minimum, I want to see BBIG close above 650 today, and then try to push $7 maybe after hours or at the end of the day here. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. This kind of move just popped up out of nowhere, and this could really lead to the next big squeeze on BBIG as shorts and people just were caught off guard. It's also interesting looking at the options chain as well. If you look at the options chain, there's a lot of options expiring tomorrow. So if we can push above 7, push above 8, push above 9, up to $10 by the end of the day tomorrow, that would obviously put a lot of those options in the money, and that would create a gamma squeeze going into next week. And then next week really could be when the rockets get lit and we start to go. But again, we're really at a key area here. I wish I would have made this video this morning because it was like much easier to be like, oh, wow, it's going up. Great, great, great. But now we're seeing pretty much that 670 area as resistance. That's that key resistance that we know by looking at the chart, resistance-wise, that obviously is big resistance there. We had a bounce off of this 580 area. So the question now is, do more buyers come in? And I would like to see kind of, let's regain that 650 area and want to push up here and try to break through 670. If we can't break through 670, I would say that BBIG is going to have trouble this week, and it's probably going to want to pull back again, maybe retest that $6 level if we can't break through here at the 670 level. So that's kind of the resistance we got going. We do know there is news coming for the company. There is hype around the company. It's been talked about a lot on Wall Street Bets. It's been trending on other places. So now the question is there enough buyers left in the world to want to buy and not enough bag holders who want to sell? So BBIG definitely the one on the watch list today. And just for shits and giggles, looking at AMC today, down there to the $34 level. And like we said yesterday, well, there it is, below 35 now on AMC. We had a pop up at open. We pulled back to the 34 level. Obviously, the overall market is getting crushed right now, so AMC is also just getting crushed with that. But again, if you look at the chart here, I want to point this out very clearly for everybody. If you look at the weekly chart here on AMC, this is what we really got to focus on. At the end of the day, if this can't hold that 35, 32, I would say between $32 and $35 needs to be the low on AMC this week. If it touches down here lower to the $30 level, it kind of invalidates the idea. A lot of people talked about how this move back in February had this big squeeze here. It pulled back, had another big squeeze. It pulled back. But the key to that is it had a higher low. A big squeeze up, it pulls back, it pushes, has a lower high, but then it has a higher low there on that chart. So you can see higher low coming in there and then squeezing higher. The problem now is if we do not get a higher low here, I would then, 1 plus 1 equals 2, but I would then expect AMC to test this $30 level again. And if it cannot hold that $28 to $30 level, like I said yesterday, that $15 comes pretty quickly. There really is no support between 30 and 15, and that's something to worry about. That's a big move to the downside with really no support there on the weekly chart. We really haven't consolidated that level. So, looking at the bigger picture here, I like to look at the bigger picture when I look at these stocks, and obviously AMC right now selling off again today, and BBIG popping up here. So let's see what happens. Looking at the daily candles or the weekly candles here on BBIG, you can see a little bit different of a move here than on the AMC chart, but it'll be interesting to see how well this thing performs, or if it can even get going again. We really kind of question to wonder, do more buyers want to step in here? Do they want to get going again? We'll see. The $1 million question, my friends. So if you guys haven't already, do me one big favor, hit that like button, subscribe buttons, all the buttons down below. I will talk to you guys later on.